Folks have asked us for a Hellraiser episode, but this week I decided to do a Hellblazer episode. It's time for a Geek Crash Course on John Constantine. Horror Month 2014 is going 4-color comic book. I'm not going to try a British accent, don't worry. Or Liverpudlian. Leave that to the Beatles or Paul McGann. I'm also not going to smoke. My landlady would not be okay with that. And I mean, I got a nice place. You got to respect that kind of thing. First appearing in Alan Moore's Swamp Thing run in 1985, John Constantine is an occult detective who got his start in the DC universe and then broke out into his own Vertigo title. He's an irascible, working-class con artist and magician from Liverpool, and trouble follows Constantine and tends to take the form of demons, monsters, and the worst mankind has to offer. At one point, Constantine is even called a weirdness magnet. John's life is also defined by his hubris. In his first attempt at heroism, he battled the demon by conjuring a demon of his own. This went very badly and resulted in a young girl getting dragged to hell. Constantine is so haunted by this that he commits himself to a mental hospital. Eventually, he's broken out by gangsters trying to resurrect a mob boss's son, and per usual, it doesn't go well. But John continues his work as an occult detective, battling the forces of darkness and paying heavy prices along the way. For example, Constantine's relationships, both girlfriends and boyfriends, generally end with John alone, either because of their death or just because they leave him. A notable past relationship is DC super magician Zatanna Zatara, who is awesome. Also, if you like the way Castiel dresses on Supernatural, you can thank John Constantine. It is a direct homage. When Constantine spun off into his own book, the original plan was for the title to be Hellraiser, but sadly the Clive Barker horror films interfered with this a little bit, so they changed the title to Hellblazer. When original series writer Jamie Delano was asked how he felt about the title change, he said it made him fairly ambivalent. Growing out of Alan Moore's observation that comics magicians tended to be older, austere folks, he created a working-class, blue-collar warlock, John Constantine, beginning a series of adventures that continued for decades and enthralled comics readers. Rather than a hero's costume, Constantine has generally dressed in a variation of a basic suit, tie, and trench coat over the years. He also started as a profound smoker, burning through 30 silk cuts a day. At one point, it's noted that John is part of a line of laughing magicians known for bluffing and tricking gods and monsters. He's a capable magician, but tends to prefer using his own wits to get his way. The Vertigo series is notable in that John effectively ages in real time through the series. In the first series of solo adventures, he notes his 35th birthday. 5 years later, in 1993, Constantine is shown celebrating his 40th. This continued until the Hellblazer series ended with issue 300 in 2013, giving an ending to the 60-year-old version of the character. He's since been replaced by a new 52 version. This Constantine is younger, smokes way less, and is a founding member of Justice League Dark, a team of magically intertwined characters forced to do the hero thing reluctantly. His backstory is tweaked so that his first magic spell burned his house down and killed his family, because DC leads aren't really allowed to have families anymore. Mind you, Constantine has a built-in history of losing friends and people he loves, so it's not exactly out of character. John Constantine briefly appeared in Neil Gaiman's The Sandman series, helping the Sandman, aka Morpheus or Dream, recover his pouch of magical sand. In addition, Constantine's ancestor Lady Joanna Constantine appears several times throughout the Sandman series. If you haven't read the Sandman series, by the way, you should. It's really good. Speaking of other homework, when it comes to recommended reading, I definitely say check out Alan Moore's run on Swamp Thing. This is not all of it, there's a lot more. It's the first place that Constantine shows up, and it's also just some really quality comic booking. Now, I had a friend who's a little bit deeper into the Constantine lore, give me some help figuring this out, and he suggested the two arcs Hunger and A Feast of Friends that are collected in the original Sins trade paperback. This is some of the first Constantine solo stuff, and writer Jamie Delano adds his own voice and great characters like Papa Midnight, Gary Lester, and Nemoth. John Ridgway's art is straight-up 80s horror, heavy blacks, deep textures, and excellent handling of panel structure. Plus, the original Sins trade will give you a nice, unrushed intro to the world of Constantine. If you're a Constantine or Constantine fan, let me know in the comments below what your favorite story arc is to help other folks out who might want to get into the character. You might want to avoid the Keanu Reeves film. Peter Stormare plays a fun devil, Tilda Swinton is a terrific angel, and Jaimon Hunsu, I'm well aware that I probably pronounced that wrong, is a pretty great Papa Midnight. Also, Shia LaBeouf's character dies, so pluses and minuses. There's a lot of good to be had, but it doesn't really feel like Constantine. The movie's loosely based on writer Garth Ennis's Dangerous Habits arc, which started his run on the book. That run's one of the most loved, and Ennis is generally amazing at writing intelligent, grim, and gritty. Dark, but not dark for the sake of being dark. check it out. The pilot to the 2014 TV series wasn't great, but the production seems to know that and are already recasting roles and reworking the show. Hopefully they can get the bugs worked out. The TV Constantine, Matt Ryan, isn't bad, and he's a blondish Welshman, so we're at least getting closer to the comics visual of Constantine than Keanu Reeves. Not that there's anything wrong with it. Honestly, I don't care. At one point in the New 52 era of DC Comics, John Constantine actually stole the powers of Shazam. While it looked really cool, it didn't last that long because his body started breaking down. He wasn't, entirely worthy. Who's your favorite occult detective? Let me know in the comments below, and remember to subscribe for more Geek Crash Course. Until next week, if you have any questions, you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, or our website, geekcrashcourse.com. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time on Geek Crash Course. Hot cross buns and a biscuit. It's not a good move. I just can't do it. I'm not going to try. You're welcome, America.